Advanced email setting. In the following sections, we introduce some settings that can be used in complicated deployment scenarios. Take the following diagram as an example. The machine B is sitting in front of A. A is the email server for the other email clients to receive emails from, and A is counting on B to face the internet. Almost each line in the diagram between servers needs to be configured correctly in order to function as expected. The machine B receives emails from other internet servers. If B is expected to process emails and send the processed emails to A, the direction from B to A is called mail transport, advanced mail transport, in our system. At this moment, Azblink system is playing the role B. The role A does not have to be Azblink system, it can be any email server using standard SMTP. On the direction from B to A, virus scanning, spam mail tagging, or email logging can be done on B for inbound emails. On the direction from A to B, it is called relay. The network protocol is still SMTP. A is as client in the relay whereas B is as relay server. We have provided the functions to act as role A or role B. As for how to configure the system to play role A or role B, we explain them in the corresponding section later. As relay client. To act as relay client, the emails are sent to relay server and that relay server sends the emails to the other email servers. You need to indicate the IP address of the host name of the relay server so that the emails will go to that machine. Unless the relay server is an open relay or it locks the client's IP address to allow some specific clients to send out emails, a user account to use the relay shall be entered for authentication. Once the server validates the account and password, the client is granted to use the server to send out emails. On email advanced as relay client, it allows you to use IP address or an authentication account to send out emails to other host. Relay control. To allow some other hosts to send out emails by using this host as a relay, there are two ways to do that. 1. Create an account and let the client machine use that account to connect the server to send out emails to. Lock the IP address of that client. Only the machines from allowed IP addresses can send out emails. To create an account so that the others can use the system as a relay, just follow our ordinary procedure shown in the previous section. To create a user account, add system users, add user. You can specify the allowed subnet, S, to send out emails. Add email advanced relay control. It also can block the user authentication approach to send out email. Before we introduce mail transport, we use two examples for deploying an email server. We only recommend the following two scenarios: mail server and firewall on the same machine, and mail server behind firewall. Example: mail server and firewall on the same machine. As diagram indicated above, we have mail server and firewall together on the same machine. The firewall is to protect local network. A mail server should not use dynamic IP address on Eth0. Thus, you should obtain static IP address from your internet service provider. Once you get static IP address from your ISP, internet service provider, the ISP will provide you a list with the following information: IP address, netmask, default gateway, DNS server. Once you have the information above, you can use System Network 1 to set public IP address. In that screen, host name and domain name will be asked to enter. The host name in that screen is just a local identifier for your machine. You can just put the host name by using simple alphanumerical symbols, AZ, 0 to 9. Then, use email basic domain/host and set domain name, yourdomain.com host name, mail.yourdomain.com. The host name here shall use fully qualified host name that can be queried from any public DNS servers, and it shall be in MX records in your DNS servers. The mail filtering programs on other mail servers would treat your emails as junk mails or directly drop them if the emails are not sent out from a server without the registration record in public DNS servers. On our border control, you have to check if TCP port 25, for SMTP, is open for access in order to receive emails. The listing of firewall rules associating with those ports on the hosts can be found at border rule list/remove rule. If it does not exist, you need to use border rule add rule to add this into the firewall rule. Example: mail server inside firewall. We just ignore those domain name registration steps and assume those things are done in advance. You should have those things settled at first. Here, we directly introduce the setting the machine itself. To deploy mail server in this network configuration, you need to use port forwarding feature in the firewall. The firewall may not be Azblink border controller. In this case, Azblink system is used as an email server. Here, we only list the step without further explanation. For the mail server with 192.168.1.3, the setting on that host is as follows: 1. Use System Network 1 to set IP address, netmask, default gateway, DNS server, and host name. But the IP address, netmask, default gateway are the setting of local network. For example, the IP address is 192.168.1.3, this is an IP address reserved for private use, not the list that your ISP gives to you for setting mail server. 2. Email basic domain/host domain name, yourdomain.com host name, mail.yourdomain.com. When people issue queries outside the firewall, The IP address they obtain for querying mail.yourdomain.com shall be the IP address of eth0 of the firewall. But the SMTP traffic is being forwarded into this internal server. The host name here in email setting needs to use the fully qualified name in DNSMX records. This mail server is protected by the firewall indicated in the diagram above. Thus, it is not necessary to have another firewall running on the machine where mail server resides. If you have another firewall running on this mail server, turn it off or open the SMTP port.